Hey guys, this is Mishal and you're watching Q&A with Mishal, episode number 12. In this episode, I'm talking about abundant mindset. I'm talking about scarcity mentality. I'm talking about 3 things that you got to keep in mind while you are hiring, and why do employers need to start allocating some of the financial resources to training and development. And I'm also talking about how to deal with complacency, and lastly, I'm talking about why do so many people are not implementing on some of the information and knowledge that they have, right? Now, let's not waste our time. Let's jump right into it. Rahi, what is my question number 1?
So the first question for the day is, sometimes people have all the information and knowledge in the world to do something, but still never implement on things.
A lot of people think that knowledge is the power, okay? You need to understand this, and you need to get it into your subconscious mind that knowledge is only a potential power. There was a time when knowledge was a real king, right? Knowledge was the power. Now, where does this term come from? Knowledge is the power. Now, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in India, when we got the independence in 1947, only 12% of India's population, and at that time, the population of India was around 350 million people, right? So only 12% of the people were literate. Okay, so only 12% of the India's population, which is about 88 million people, could read and write. At that time, we all were sort of starting at the bottom, okay? No one was sort of extremely rich. Only a very, very small percentage of the people in India had the resources and access to the education. So at that time, knowledge was extremely important. To have an access to the knowledge and the right books, right education institutions were extremely important, right? And that's why people used to sort of say that knowledge was the power. Knowledge is not the power anymore. What you do with that information is everything. Execution is worshipped in the marketplace. I know so many people in my space that they go seminar to seminars, they attend these workshops, watch hundreds and hundreds of hours of videos, and they're reading all the books in their space, right? But what really happens is, in a very twisted way, they think that just because now they have an access to the knowledge, their life is sort of sorted. Okay, until you act on that information, you are not going to do anything. And that's what really happening with so many people out there. Just because you attended one of the seminars, just because you have read this 10 books on a particular subject, it's not going to change your life at all. Like for example, right now, ideas and the information are sold dime a dozen. Starting a business is not a complicated thing. You need to know what products and services that you want to offer in the marketplace, what value that you want to bring in the marketplace, what problems you are solving, and then you need to have your branding and marketing sorted. At the same time, you have to sell your products and services, but not a lot of people are acting on it. Just because you're going through the seminars, it doesn't mean anything, right? So now, that's number 1, right? 90% of the people goes into this mode we call paralysis over analysis, right? They have so much of information in their head. What really happens when you have so much of information, when your brain is bombarded with information from all the direction, what really happens, you go through a mode called information fatigue. And the last thing you want to do when you are exhausted, when your brain is loaded with information, is the last thing you want to do is you want to take any action, right? You need to sort of step back and sort of process whatever that you have, right? Okay, now also, the complexity is the mother of all failures. If the information and the strategies that you have at your disposal is extremely complicated to understand, if it is not stupidly simple, then you don't want to act upon that. So there are a variety of the factors that people actually not implementing on the information and the knowledge that they have, right? So when you are going after certain information, you have to be intentional about it. right? You just don't want to keep reading books after books, and you just don't want to keep going after seminars after seminars just for the sake of it. That might make you feel really good, but once you sort of finish that seminar, once you're sort of done reading that book or done reading that blog or done watching that video, you're going to have to do with that information, and you have to act sort of immediately, because if you're going to sit on a certain information for too long, okay, it's going to lose its value. Right? So that's my answer. That's one of the reasons not a lot of people get into the action mode, even they got all the answers, they've got all the information at their disposal.
Okay, the second question is, how can you deal with people who have been with your company for years and also have contributed greatly towards your bottom line, but now they have become complacent and now setting the wrong examples for the new members of the team? How do you not let that affect the culture of the team?
Okay, so this is a very good question, right? Now, understand this. Complacency has destroyed more dreams and destroyed more businesses than failure alone. Okay, so first understand what really happened when you become comfortable, when you become really complacent, right? The hunger is gone. You don't have to prove anyone to no one, right? You have enough money sitting in your bank account, right? Enough people sort of know you, right? So now you do not want to put in the work, okay? You do not want to do the things that made you successful in the first place. But then I'm not saying that you should never enjoy the labor of your hard work, right? But when complacency really sets in, then you become really, really lazy. Now, if you are at the top of your game, right? You understand this, okay? That other people are looking up to you, right? Other people are they are feeding off your energy. Your limiting beliefs are going to become their limiting belief. Whatever that you are going to believe in, they are going to believe in. So what really happens when the new member comes into your team and they see the top player is not prospecting, okay? The top player is talking to their clients in a certain way. They assume that this is the culture of the business, and before you know it is going to contaminate your entire system. Before that person become the complacent, he has some kind of a hunger in his stomach. He wanted to prove to someone, right? So he was the hardest working person in the room, and that was one of the reasons he stuck around with that company for so many years, okay? So understand this, whenever you have a business, it is not a charity. The only time you're going to be around in the company for about 15 years, if you have been adding the value consistently, right? If you're not adding value, if you're not producing the results, if you're not doing things that really affects the bottom line, you're not going to be around. So this is what you need to understand, that so when senior team members become really complacent, you really can't just barge into their office and fire them, right? You have to understand that they have contributed greatly with your bottom line for about 15 years. So they have a skill, they have built a sweat equity, they have the knowledge, okay? They have created massive success for your business. But right now, because they are 50, they are 45, they already got a couple of cars, they already got investment property, a lot of people already know them, they've got they've got good amount of money sitting in the bank account. Now they have lost the hunger, right? So you just need to, and this is what I believe in, this is my philosophy. You can actually say anything to almost anyone as long as you are saying it with respect, right? You need to remind those people what is the most important thing, okay? Business, you're gonna have to put the mission and the purpose of the business, right, at the top of everything. Do you think CEO do not get fired? The moment business stop producing the results, okay? The moment business stop being relevant, the customers are going to fire you. The moment you stop connecting with the clients, the moment you stop doing the things that made you successful in the first place, the moment you stop doing that, you are going to be a history. You're going to be obsolete. So the top player in the business got to understand that, right? And understand this. Everyone's got to grow. If you're not growing, you are actually slowly perishing, okay? And for growth, change has to happen. You're going to have to adopt with the new system. You're going to have to adopt with the new way of doing things. For literally about 10 to 15 years ago, people were doing heavily invested into traditional way of marketing. Right now, it really doesn't exist anymore. So it doesn't matter if you're 45, if you're 50, you're still going to have to put in the work. You're still going to have to be relevant with your market. marketing. You're going to have to start putting the stuff on the internet. Just because you're finally made it, you're finally standing at the top of the Everest, doesn't mean that you're not going to have to put in the work. If they're 45 and they need some sort of a training with the technology, new system that you're trying to introduce, right? Or you want them to do sort of certain thing, you give them all the training, all the coaching, and all the mentoring that they need at that stage in their life, right? And if they're making the adjustment, they're gonna be one of your greatest value-adding asset for under the next 15 years. But if they're still resistant, if they're still creating problems for you, right, then you're just gonna have to let them go. You're just gonna have to make those tough calls, right? You can't hang on to people because they've created enormous amount of value for 15 years. Right? If then obviously you want to give them all the opportunities in the world to help them realize that now is the time to be a little bit more flexible. But if they still don't understand, right? And if they're still creating friction, then you're just going to have to let them go respectfully.
So the question number 3 is, what are the 3 qualities that you need to look at when you are hiring, and why employers need to allocate more resources towards training and development?
So this is the thing that you need to understand when you are hiring. Not everyone you are going to hire is going to work out. Sometimes you are going to think that you are literally about one recruit away from changing your business, okay? So the person sitting in front of you have the perfect resume, have perfect number of sort of experience in your space, gone to the best colleges in the country. They have literally about sort of 50 testimonials and 50 references on the resume, right? So you think that this person is literally going to put you at the pedestal, he's going to sort of change your business. But sometimes, okay, that person is not going to work out, right? He's not going to be a really good recruit because that person literally have about 50,000 years of experience under his belt. He comes with a lot of preconceived notion. He doesn't now want to get his hands dirty and stuff like that, right? So, but then sometimes you just basically want to give someone a shot because you thought there's some kind of a spark in him. He doesn't have the best experience, did not go to the best schools, and even he doesn't have a lot of knowledge around your space, but he had the right vibe. Right? So you hire him, but you obviously, because of the experience and the credentials on the resume, you do not have a massive amount of hope. But that works out because he had a chip on his shoulder. He did not have a lot of money in his savings account, right? He wanted to prove someone wrong, right? So he's gonna work harder than anyone else, and that person is literally going to work out, right? So first of all, whenever that you are hiring, you never know which recruit is going to sort of work out. So you basically want to get right people in the bus, and then you're going to put them in the right seat. But when you are hiring, you basically want to look at these 3 things, okay? The skill, the knowledge, and the attitude, right? You do not want to hire a pilot who had great attitude, okay? Everybody wanted to be around him, but he never went to a flying school, never flew a plane in his entire life. Right? You do not want a very positive surgeon to work on you, okay, to operate on you when you're going through a heart surgery if that surgeon is fresh out of the medical school. He had no experience and basically got no skills to operate on a person, right? So understand this. You want to make sure that that person has the right amount of skills. Okay, we are obviously not looking for someone who's literally got about hundreds of years of experience in your space, but you want to look at the skills, right? So for that, you need to know what you are actually looking for in a candidate. And then you want to look at what are the non-negotiables for you, okay? This person, this candidate has to have this skill, right? And for that, you need to know what you are not looking for. Once you have a bit of an understanding that what you are not looking for, it is really easy to weed out the wrong candidates. So skill is the number 1. Then you also need to know that that person have right amount of knowledge around your space, right? Right amount of knowledge can be tested when you ask that person specific questions, okay? And then you basically want to put them on a probation period. Right? So if they do not prove themselves in, let's say, 6 months of probation, then there are 2 options. Either you give them some sort of more time to produce the results that they said in an interview that they are going to produce for you? Because let's face it, everyone lies on their resume. Okay? Everyone wants to project the best version of themselves when you look at their resume, or when you put them on the field. Okay? When you put them in the marketplace, then it's a different picture. It's a different story altogether. So you are giving them about sort of 6 months of time. And if they cannot deliver what they said that they're going to deliver, either you give them more time or you just let them go. Right? Now, here's the most important: the character of an employee, the attitude. You can hire someone who's got the best knowledge, a lot of years of experience, and as I said in the beginning, they've got 10, 20 references, but they haven't got the right attitude. What's going to happen? Attitude, your overall character is really contagious, right? If you are not going to sort of pay attention to it, it is going to sort of contaminate your entire culture. There are so many companies who have the legacy of 20 years, 25 years. They've been around for, let's say, 100 years. They spiraled into oblivion because of the character flaws of people sitting at the top. Right? So you always got to make sure that they got the right amount of skills, they have the knowledge in your space, and at this end, but most importantly, they have to have the right character, right attitude to do the job. So now your second question is why people need to allocate more resources to training and development. Now, here's the problem with so many employers. They do not want to allocate and put aside certain financial resources to invest in their people, in training and development, making them better version of themselves. They can do their job more effectively, because the number one fear is, what if they put all these resources into an employee in training and development and they leave them for another company? But your real concern is, let's say you are not allocating any resources or not enough resources in training and development, and what if those people stay? Okay, mediocrity and average results got no place in the marketplace. You are going to get punished by the marketplace, right? And when you train, when you invest your time, money, and enough resources, making a person a better version of him or herself, what really happens, even if you get 10% improvement in their overall results collectively, it's going to make a massive difference to your bottom line. Let's say that you have about sort of 10 people. Now you have started investing a bit of money into the training and development. You are providing them the right amount of coaching, mentorship, and live training, right? Now they were getting about sort of 2 sales a month, right? Without the training. Now, because of the training, because of the constant assistance, okay, accountability system, now everyone is starting to get 1 extra sale. Okay, we are not making any massive claims, but everyone start producing 1 extra sale a month. Do you think that is enough ROI, return on your investment? Obviously, yes. Right? So that's my easy answer to this extremely complicated question.
So the last question is, what is the difference between abundant mindset and scarcity mindset? What role does it play in one's ultimate success?
So this is a very good question, right? And it has got everything to do with your ultimate success, right? Now, what is abundant mindset? You in your heart and your soul believe that there's enough for everyone. For me to succeed, someone else doesn't really have to fail, right? We all can succeed and prosper at the same time. So there is really no shortage of success. Now, if this is your belief system, right? Why belief systems are extremely important? Because they drive behavior. So if you believe in your heart and mind that, okay, there is enough for everyone, you're not going to be desperate around money. You're not going to be scared to give away some of the money, because you always can earn more money, right? Now, what kind of actions you are going to take? Because you believe in abundant mindset, you do not get worried and stressed because you did not go to the best school. You did not have a really good grade, right? You did not come from the most influential family in the city, okay? Your parents might not have the best contact, but you in your heart and soul believe that it doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, or what kind of context you have in your phone, you can still get a fair chance in this world. Money is only the byproduct of the value that you create in the marketplace. If you have a skill and you're working on that skill, right, you are creating incredible amount of value in the marketplace. The people you basically work for, the money is just gonna come sooner or later. What is the scarcity mentality? Scarcity mentality is you're always insecure about what you already have. You're always sort of comparing yourself with other people. That person is succeeding in your team. That means that there's gonna be little for you, right? Scarcity mentality doesn't believe in giving whatever that you have. Like one of the great entrepreneur in India, I forgot the name, he said that the real power of the money is the power to give it away. Right? Just let it sink into your psyche. The real power of the money is the power to give it away. That kind of belief system comes from an abundant mindset. So people who are really wealthy in a true sense, okay, they have a different relationship. Obviously, they have an abundant mindset, but they have a very healthy relationship with the money and the wealth they are creating, okay? Not one person, not one really wealthy person on this earth, have become really wealthy by saving money. Okay, so saving money is scarcity mentality. Okay, but when you save money, and again, like I'm not a big saver myself, okay, but I still save a lot of money because I just don't spend money on things I don't want. I do not want to compromise on my basic lifestyle. I'm just not spending money mindlessly to impress other people, to get some kind of a social validation from other people, right? I'm just not spending money stupidly. So if I'm not spending money stupidly, I just save. Okay, and while you are saving it, okay, people become wealthy by investing the savings into the dreams, into the stocks. They own a piece of a company, right? Wealthy people save to invest, and this is what really happens with all the lottery winners, right? That the research been done that 90% of the lottery winner, okay, they find themselves broke in first 5 years, right? Because the moment they have like obnoxious amount of money sitting in their bank account, the first thing they do is they start spending money on the things they don't want, and they start buying shit for everyone. They haven't got a financial blueprint, okay? They haven't got the right belief system, they haven't got the right standards, and they still have the scarcity mentality. So winning got everything to do with how you look at things, everything to do with your mindset. Do you in your heart and soul believe that there is enough for everyone? There is no shortage of money. As I said, that there is no shortage of money, there is only shortage of people who's going after it. If you believe that okay, there's enough for everyone, right? You're gonna be really easy. You're gonna be taking action with ease. So that's the wrap, guys. This was Q&A with Mishal, episode number 12. Now these are your questions, I'm answering them. Now if you want me to answer any of your questions in relation to mindset, business, entrepreneurship, high performance mentality, how to get the best out of your team and yourself, please don't forget to put your questions at the bottom, and I'm gonna try and answer those questions in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you next time.